Everyone loves a celebrity bromance. When a golden torso from 2000's rom-coms befriends a spiky-haired Food Network host, we all smile, and we love the R-rated name actors who bought a soccer team. These are the Hollywood bromances you didn't know existed. One is a controversial comedian who frequently makes offensive jokes. The other is a much younger comedian, also known for frequently making offensive jokes. Despite these similarities, stand-up veteran Dave Chappelle and Saturday Night Live star Pete Davidson make an unusual pairing with a 20-year age gap between them. Both have been open about their personal struggles, which have influenced their comedic material. Chappelle withdrew from the public eye at the height of his fame due to mental health issues, while Davidson has discussed his problems with self-harm and depression. Keenly aware that his pal was in need, Chappelle allowed Davidson to retreat to his home for Christmas in 2018. If that's not all, the pair had a palpable rapport during an SNL skit in 2020, in which the two repeatedly broke character as they struggled to contain their giggles amid Chappelle's not-safe-for-work ad-libbing. During an appearance on Late Night with Seth Meyers, Davidson's longtime pal Machine Gun Kelly recalled an anecdote involving the king of Staten Island's unlikely friendship with Chappelle. The duo were invited to smoke weed at Chappelle's house during his mom's 81st birthday party, much to Chappelle's wife's annoyance.
We end up at his house. His wife was like furious that we were still there, like, get these idiots out of here.
Dubbed the most bizarre friendship in Hollywood, A-listers Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill are reportedly super close. The pair have worked together on Moneyball and Megamind and have maintained a beautiful bromance since. During an appearance on The Daily Show in 2011, Hill revealed the extent of his closeness to Pitt. In fact, the elder actor let his bud crash at his pad for several months. Hill joked that Pitt's so attractive his instincts say not to like him, but the generosity Pitt showed his former co-star by letting him stay in his New Orleans home for upwards of 4 months prevailed. Reportedly, Pitt's then-wife Angelina Jolie was less than thrilled about the arrangement. Hill reports that he learned some valuable lessons from the older and perhaps wiser star. In a 2011 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, a then 27-year-old Hill said that Pitt inspired him when they were making Moneyball. Hill explained that watching the Hollywood icons shift into increasingly serious roles also led to him having his own epiphany regarding his career, saying, "I learned a tremendous amount from Brad, just his advice about making interesting choices as an actor. That's really been the most inspiring thing Brad's done for me." Since Hill's approach to acting might have been shaped by Pitt's influence, who knows if we will see Hill emulating his buddy's fighting abilities in any upcoming features. Channing Tatum is close friends with fellow Hollywood hunk Jason Momoa, who certainly would not look out of place in the upcoming Magic Mike's Last Dance. In fact, the Magic Mike and Aquaman stars have been besties for years. According to People, Tatum and Momoa have known each other for quite some time and often hang out with Hollywood stunt doubles. An interesting element to their friendship is that Tatum made it red carpet official with Lady Love Zoe Kravitz, who is also Momoa's stepdaughter. Luckily, Momoa told People he fully approves of his pal's romance with Kravitz. On Instagram, the Game of Thrones star posted a wholesome snap of himself and Tatum cozying up as they made their way to support Kravitz at the premiere of The Batman. Excitingly, Momoa has hinted at making an appearance in the upcoming Magic Mike threequel, cheekily telling People that he and Tatum have casually discussed his potential involvement in the film. Only time will tell. We can certainly understand what pals Tom Holland and Jake Gyllenhaal see in each other. The former is the unthreatening pretty boy heartthrob of today. The latter was the blue-eyed dreamboat of yesteryear. With Holland's MCU stardom and Gyllenhaal's wealth of experience in the industry, there is no stopping these handsome besties, even if they do play arch-nemeses on screen. In 2020, Holland challenged his Spider-Man co-star to a shirtless handstand challenge on Instagram. Though Gyllenhaal was clearly more adept at the task than his challenger, fans enjoyed the views that came out of both sides of the competition. Both actors have a mutual respect for each other, which is evident from the gushing praise they have heaped onto one another in interviews. During an appearance on Good Morning Britain, Gyllenhaal fanboyed over Holland vocally.
I mean, it's straight romance. Let's be honest. It's not even a bromance. It's straight romance.
Meanwhile, Holland referred to Gyllenhaal as his husband in an Instagram post and reposted his pal's birthday tribute along with 3 drooling emojis. With Gyllenhaal's steely blue gaze, we can't blame Holland for this epic man crush. Will Smith's tirade against Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars exposed a lot about Hollywood. For example, it revealed that Smith keeps a secretive inner circle with the likes of Tyler Perry, Bradley Cooper, and Denzel Washington. Of all those who rationalized Smith's actions, Washington was perhaps the most philosophical. At TD Jake's Leadership Summit, Washington defended his bud with a proverbial observation. There's a saying, when the devil ignores you, then you know you're doing something wrong. Conversely, when the devil comes at you, maybe it's because he's trying to do something right. And for whatever reason, the devil got a hold of that circumstance that night. It is difficult to fathom what the Fresh Prince and the respected Oscar winner have in common, but it turns out that the unlikely duo have been close pals for decades. In a 2021 interview with GQ, Smith revealed that Washington offered his insightful advice when the King Richard star was going through existential struggles. Smith went on to explain that he often defers to the older actor for his seasoned insights on life. Forget bad boys for life, these two are bros for life. Speaking of the 2022 Oscar slap, do not expect Will Smith to appear among any of Adam Sandler's ensemble casts anytime soon. The comedy vet is a close friend of Chris Rock's and firmly on his old pal's side. Shortly after the now infamous incident, Sandler offered his support to Rock, promoting his stand-up show on Twitter underneath the caption, "Can't wait for this. Love you, buddy." Rock and Sandler have worked together on screen for years, from The Longest Yard to the Grown Ups franchise. In an interview on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, the Sandman opened up about how he and Rock first became friends, revealing that they had been besties since they were in their late teens.
We met and we just became really tight immediately. I was like, oh man, this guy's funny.
Meanwhile, Rock had similar praise for his BFF in an interview with Esquire. Reminiscing about the early days of the rib-tickling twosome's friendship, the comedian declared that Sandler's talent and charm attracted him immediately. Moreover, Rock told Extra TV that Sandler was his inspiration for taking on a serious role in Fargo, admitting that it was the comedic actor's revelatory turn in Uncut Gems that motivated him to do the show. Rock even went so far as to joke that he took the role to deliberately copy Sandler. When Harry Styles' Squad comes to mind, most people would not immediately think of British funny man James Corden. But these two pals are actually super tight. Poking fun at one another seems to be at the heart of the duo's bromance. When Styles became a week-long mainstay of The Late Late Show with James Corden in 2017, he leapt into the host's chair and pretended to be his friend, while Corden donned Styles' signature guitar and quirky fashion sensibilities. The bromance heated up between the pair when Styles appeared on Carpool Karaoke, where he and Corden sang an emotional rendition of Diana Ross and Lionel Richie's Endless Love. They took their chemistry one step further on a Christmas special of the much-loved karaoke segment by sharing a smooch. Rest assured, their friendship is certainly not confined to the late-night circuit. According to Daily Mail, back in 2013, Styles went on an outing with Corden and his son, helping the doting father with his stroller. Additionally, according to People, Styles and Corden, along with singing superstar Adele, went on a beach trip to Anguilla in 2020. Regarding his love for Styles, Corden gushed to Heat, saying, "There's nothing he can't do. Genuinely, there is nothing out of the realms of possibility for him." Some things are stranger than Pulp Fiction, and one of those things is Tim Roth's man crush on Tupac Shakur. Not only did Roth and Shakur enjoy a blossoming bromance, but they totally loved each other. After acting alongside one another in underappreciated 90s indie gem Gridlocked, Roth and his rap co-star became tight. Roth told The Guardian Shakur had even given him a nickname. Perhaps their bromance would have bloomed more were it not for the tragedy that soon befell the rapper. Tupac was shot dead in 1996 at the age of just 25. The murder remains unsolved to this day. Sadly, Shakur never got to see the premiere of Gridlocked, having been killed just months before its release. During a Reddit AMA, Roth reflected on the moment his friend died, saying, "We had our fingers crossed that he would survive in the hospital, but it was the surgery that got him in the end. He was young and rash, but also brilliant, and I adored him." Following the rapper's death, Roth helped pay for his funeral, as Shakur's mother was struggling to foot the cost. In an interview with James Corden, Roth revealed that he and the rap icon even recorded music together at Death Row Records. Roth noted that the irony of a, quote, little pasty-faced London boy recording with the same label as Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre was not lost on him.
We all rapped together, but I couldn't keep a straight face. I was just absolutely...
Did you write?
I didn't write a thing. He just made me say stuff.
While many may be curious about how the music they tracked sounded, Roth claims the songs are hidden away in a vault. Quirky filmmaker and Flight of the Conchords writer Taika Waititi has found himself an unwitting Hollywood A-lister in recent years, despite cutting his teeth on kooky films like Eagle vs. Shark. With a Hollywood career comes Hollywood pals, and Waititi has made an unexpected bestie in Aussie dreamboat Chris Hemsworth. These two have been inseparable for a while. While chatting with Heat, Hemsworth described their first encounter as awkward, which Waititi jokingly attributed to the fact that Hemsworth was probably nervous to meet a big shot like himself. According to the book The Story of Marvel Studios, The Making of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the duo had to remain tight-lipped about their long-term friendship while Waititi was directing Thor Ragnarok. Otherwise, people might think he only got the job due to his friendship with Hemsworth. Speaking with Build, the Australian pinup revealed that his director bestie brought out the silly side in him, noting that Waititi put him at ease with making a fool of himself. Celebrating Hemsworth's birthday in 2020, Waititi tweeted a happy birthday message to his friend. However, in Waititi's typical goofy style, he opted to include a picture of him and Liam Hemsworth in the post instead of Chris. Pearl Jam frontman Eddie Vedder and A-lister Bradley Cooper admittedly have a lot in common. For a start, they're both open to expanding beyond their traditional medium. Indeed, Vedder has been a Hollywood player since his band's inception, appearing in Cameron Crowe's grunge flick Singles and collabing with Tim Robbins on his anti-death penalty film Dead Man Walking. Meanwhile, Cooper is as famed for his acting chops as he is for his epic pipes, having showcased his singing skills with Lady Gaga. Thus, Vedder and Cooper bonded and a superstar friendship was born. It must be said, Cooper's gravelly singing voice in A Star Is Born is more than a little reminiscent of the Pearl Jam frontman's famous drawl. This was no coincidence after all. In fact, Vedder's unique singing style inspired Cooper's performance. Cooper told Yahoo Entertainment, "I went up to Seattle and spent 4 or 5 days with him, and I asked him 9,000 questions, and he gave me minor little things that only musicians know about what to do just aesthetically and the inner workings." Although Vedder initially advised his friend against taking on the role, he eventually warmed to the idea. Meanwhile, the singer had his own unique advice for Cooper, which he shared with Howard Stern.
Make sure your guitar covers your balls at all times. You don't want to be one of those guys.
Ryan Reynolds is one of the world's sexiest men and an all-around Mr. Nice Guy.
Don't have a good day. Have a great day.
It seems, then, that he is an odd match for the creator of one of the most offensive sitcoms of all time. Yet, the Deadpool star and the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia writer have become great friends. We can't help but wonder if Rob McElhenney tracked down Reynolds by creating a bicep flyer like his on-screen alter ego Mac did to score some beefcake BFFs. According to Men's Health, it was when Reynolds saw McElhenney in Always Sunny's uncharacteristically moving coming-out scene that he realized he had to befriend him. Reynolds told the outlet he direct messaged McElhenney to sing his praises and sent him a bottle of aviation gin. As reported by The Guardian, the pair decided to buy low-league soccer team Wrexham AFC based in Wales in 2020. The decision brought the pair even closer. McElhenney told Fearless in Devotion he texts Reynolds on a very regular basis and that he truly values their close friendship. As owners of Wrexham, they have put out a free bar tab for fans, paid thousands of dollars to help out a disabled fan, and hired a Welsh mom as the team's translator. We all know that Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro are extremely tight, but one of Marty's lesser publicized friendships is with fellow film director Spike Lee. Scorsese went from being Lee's mentor and inspiration to his friend and hero, according to USA Today. In an interview with GQ, Lee discussed the origins of the creative twosome's friendship. Lee reported that he attended a screening of After Hours hosted by Scorsese, where he told the veteran director the impact another one of his films, Mean Streets, had on him when he was younger. This revelation seems to have struck a chord with Scorsese, as the two have remained friends since that conversation. Lee may fanboy over the elder filmmaker, but Scorsese is just as keen to heap praise on his longtime friend. Deadline reports that following the release of Lee's 2018 film Black Klansman, which drew parallels between the Ku Klux Klan in the 70s and the Trump presidency, Scorsese had nothing but commendation for his buddy. In a feature for Interview magazine, the filmmaker speculated that their bond may be due to some of the shared experiences of African Americans and Italian Americans living in New York. A friendship between a hunky Swede and a character actor renowned for playing meek and nerdy parts sounds more like a sitcom plot than reality. However, True Blood star Alexander Skarsgård and 30 Rock funny man Jack McBrayer are indeed BFFs. According to People, Skarsgård brought McBrayer as his date to the 2018 Screen Actors Guild Awards. Speaking with AP, McBrayer revealed that he and Skarsgård became besties after living as neighbors in LA. While McBrayer explained that the two became quick friends, Skarsgård joked that he had to move cities because McBrayer kept spying on him with a telescope. The BFFs took part in a Funny or Die series in which they traveled to the Arctic to raise awareness of climate change in 2015. Discussing the expedition in an interview with Esquire, Skarsgård joked that having to spend over a week together in the icy landscape spelled the end of their beautiful bromance. The Swedish heartthrob noted that he is an adventurer, while his pal is content to never leave his sunny LA pad, which formed the basis of much of the voyage's comedy. As Skarsgård praised his friend's eventual enthusiasm to join him on the project, McBrayer replied by saying, "Thank you, I love you." Clearly, opposites attract, and these two are true blood brothers. Matthew McConaughey and Guy Fieri are no ordinary bromance, but then these two are no ordinary guys. The Oscar winner and the mayor of Flavortown have been friends for almost 2 decades. Their bromance initiated by McConaughey's love of the celeb chef's show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. According to Variety, McConaughey paid an adoring tribute to Fieri when the restaurateur was inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2019. Describing the moment he first discovered Fieri, McConaughey explained he was living in a camper, traveling the United States when he found the show.
I came across this show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and it quickly became my favorite show.
Subsequently, he decided to call Fieri, and the pair quickly bonded over food, as McConaughey would frequently call the cook for restaurant recommendations. Thereafter, they met in person and bonded almost immediately over food, beverages, and their ways of life. According to Us Magazine, when the Southern gent married his long-term girlfriend, Camila Alves, in 2012, Guy Fieri was responsible for cooking the wedding feast. McConaughey even appeared on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, where he and Fieri tried out Tex-Mex casserole. Ever since they first met, these two have been getting on all right. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.